Alright, let's take a look at King Sphinx, our very first monster figure out of the monster series of the Lightning Collection. So, take a look at his packaging first of all before we look at the figure here. The front of the packaging showcases the lovely artwork of King Sphinx. We have Power Rangers Lightning Collection, Mighty Morphin King Sphinx, ages 4 and plus, warning choking hazard. On this side of packaging, we just got the rest of his turban and his shoulder here. Says Mighty Morphin Power Rangers there. On this side of packaging, here's the face of King Sphinx. On to the back of the packaging, and here's the promotional artwork of King Sphinx showcased in all of its glory, which looks great. And that's about it for the packaging. So, anyway, here's the figure. Boy, is he big. He is really chunky. This figure's got some heft to him. I mean, he feels really good in your hands here. He doesn't feel too loose. He doesn't feel too tight. He feels just right. So, King Sphinx, of course, looks very much on par with his monster costume from your Saturday morning cartoon back in 1993. Incredible detail all around, unique sculpting, especially with the wings here. Phenomenal work. They are articulated, and we'll get to all that very shortly. Let's talk about minor nitpicks here, okay? Minor nitpicks, even though it's promoted on the back of the packaging, and it doesn't lie, it could use a little more paint for his face, like especially within his mouth and his nose. It should have been painted black. Those little touch-ups would have made a real big difference here. But again, I can't fault them because they really didn't lie here. Because if you look at the promotional shot, it's pretty much just that same plastic color. The nose isn't painted and the mouth isn't painted either. But it does look like this is actually all gold here for what is actually yellow on this figure here. So yeah, that's a bit of a disappointment. But you know what? I'm not going to take anything away from this guy because the quality on him has blown my expectations away. And he looks phenomenal. More phenomenal. Just all around for what they do offer in the paint job here. Of course, we got these pieces here on the chest with the trimming of the red. I don't know why that was hard to say. He's also got that eyepiece that's actually painted right there. Oh, and by the way, this is not printed on. This is actually part of the sculpting as well, just painted over. Looks good. Take a look at his claw hands here. Look like they could cut through any Ranger. And then, of course, these hieroglyphics here are painted on as well. Sculpted first, then painted on. It's got a glossy touch to it too. Nice. And beyond that, that's really it for your details and paint application on the figure. Not to say that's a bad thing, because it is your generic monster costume here, which looks great. And I'm really blown away by this. Just needs some little touch up there, and I can do that on my own. But it's only fair to showcase the figure the way he is before I decide to do any post-painting. So anyway, let's go through his articulation now. He does have a ball joint at the head, which does get quite the range of movements, surprisingly, especially with the turban. We have the rotation at the shoulders here, which do have the hinge joint for up and down movement as well. We have a bicep swivel cut. We have double jointed elbows, wrist swivels. We have hinge joint for inward and outward movement at the hand. We do have a butterfly joint. Surprisingly, we've got that. That's cool. We have an upper ball jointed torso. We have an ab crunch, especially with the monsters here. Look at that. That's so cool. Look at that. Look how far back that goes. Get some nice poses of this guy getting his butt whooped by the Power Rangers. Anyway, we also have the ball jointed hips to get that much kicking forward, which is great. And that much going back. Here's your split. Looks really good. We have the thigh swivel cut, which on my figure is really hard to move, so I'm not going to bother with it. We have double jointed knees. That does get more than it really needs, which is phenomenal. And we got the up and down movement at the ankles, which also has the ankle rocker pivot. And it also swivels, so it helps out with balancing this correctly. By the way, we also have articulation at the tail. It's on a ball joint at the very end here. Would have been nice if we actually had a cut somewhere in the middle here, just so we can turn the tip. But that's fine. It is the way it is. And we also have ball jointed wings that also can flap in and out on a hinge. So let's go ahead and take a look at his accessories that he comes with. He's got his signature staff here, which looks good. It's in that same not gold color here for the tip. It's all done in this blue plastic here, which I'm fine with. It's better than dull gray. And the figure can actually wield this in his hand. He's got this grip here that's constructed in the hand to keep this tight so it doesn't move around like so. Works great. It gets the job done in my opinion. He also has interchangeable hands, which is standard hinge joint for up and down movement. So if you want to put his staff in a more natural position with these hands, you can. But my only issue that I have with these hands is that, you know, they're constructed in that plastic, which really isn't that flexible. So you really can't get the staff in there, even though it is designed to hold the staff. I just can never get it in his hands. That's why I don't use it. I use these hands. Even though it doesn't look like he's really gripping it, he actually is gripping it. And then, of course, we got that balled up fist with the hinge for, you know, inward and outward movement, which is fine. I mean, they do have some nice detail on them, and they're not your standard Ranger gloved hands here, so there is quite the difference in variety, so that's appreciative. Last accessory it comes with is, of course, a lightning effect piece. So here it is. And, of course, it can slide on to his staff. So he's charging up. And, of course, I'm going to compare him with Mighty Morphin Red Ranger. Because who else would I compare King Sphinx with? So, as you can see, he's huge. Which is why you're going to pay a buttload for this guy compared to a standard $22 price lightning figure here. I think the actual retail price of these are going to be 30 bucks. I don't know if they're going to be exclusive to any store. There's been no mention whatsoever. The only place that you can get these figures right now is at Big Bad Toy Store. They're also on Hasbro Pulse, if I'm not mistaken, but they're still on pre-order. I don't know if they're going to be Target exclusive or Walmart. No word whatsoever. But if anybody has any ideas or if they've heard something that I haven't, feel free to leave it down below in the comment section of this video. As it is, let me go ahead and give you my final thoughts on this figure. He's really good. This is really impressive. The last time we actually saw King Sphinx in any Power Rangers toy line was back in his Mighty Morphin days, where it was a standard 8-inch action figure with less than 5 points of articulation, which, you know, compared to the Deluxe Megazord back then, was probably the ideal of why you would own that figure anyway. This is a very nice modern improvement with lovely details. It's a really good figure. It looks like the actual costume used in the show. It does need a little bit of some improving in the face, which I can do myself with a black Sharpie after this video. But again, I really want to give the figure his due before I decide to do any redos on this guy that I just feel he needs. So anyway, questions or comments, you know what to do. Hit it down below in the comment section of the video. If you like today's video review, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to give me a sub up. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down. Don't forget to throw in the towel. And until then, this is Red's Power signing off saying thanks for watching and see you next time.